Good morning. Hi,
Morning,
Harry.
Christine.
How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. So good to see your beaming, charming face.
I just got back from Bend yesterday. I was over there helping with the RLI program,
Oh, okay.
talking about membership. Go figure.
Well, you didn't call me. We could have had coffee.
They didn't give us any time, I tell you. It was just like wham, wham, wham.
Oh, dear.
But it was we had 24 participants, I think. So it was a really nice sized group for breakout sessions and for, interactivity and everybody getting to know each other. And it's just like this forum, the contacts that you make are, the really valuable part.
Great, 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 great. Glad it went well.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay. Getting a couple more things organized. Hard to believe, but I'm not totally organized already, but I'm not. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Business network. Okay, let's see. 2 people in the waiting room. Okay, I better get with the program. Hi, Michael.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good.
I wasn't sure how long this runs. I do have a 11 o'clock hard stop for myself.
I always try to get it stopped exactly at 11. I've hardly ever been early, but sometimes it's been a minute late. If you need to leave, Michael, just leave. There's no hall pass requirement in this group.
Okay, appreciate
I know
that.
you're all busy. I'm excited to hear some of your thoughts. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Ray. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Chris.
Good morning.
Make me look taller.
Okay, I think I'm totally ready. Ha ha. Oh, Joe Vincent's coming. Better quit talking about him. Morning, Joe.
Good morning.
I'm always curious to see how many people will show up at this because I said I need your advice. So people usually blow me off on when I ask for that. It's like, oh, a planning meeting? Yeah.
No.
I have the cream of the crop here, right?
We think so.
Of course. Hey, Joe, how many?
I got a bridge, I'll sell you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Sharon, remind me what club you're with.
Montague.
Oh, you're from California.
Yeah, Montague, California. Yes.
Barely. How far are you from the Oregon border?
Oh, I have no idea. About 30 miles, maybe. Let's see.
Oh,
I'm at
okay.
exit 667, like 670. 653, 667. I think it's 667.
I don't know what that means, but if 30 miles, I know what that means.
I think it's around 30 miles. Yeah.
Okay, here comes Curtis from Delta. Jerry Kasanovic's here. I haven't seen him since day before yesterday. Denise, I haven't seen her since day before yesterday.
You
We
don't get
were,
to see me today either.
we were in Bend for Rotary Leadership Institute and had a really good session, day and a half session.
Yes,
What,
we
Jerry,
did.
were there about 24 people there?
Well, there were more counting faculty, but 22 participants, 22 people at the table, and 22 graduates of Rotary Leadership Institute.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. It was a great time. The evaluation was really just stellar. I mean, people had a great time. They learned a lot, and they're ready to begin advancing their Rotary journey. It
their
was,
Rotary
really
career.
heartwarming. Yeah.
Jerry,
Now
is
with
that
that Rotary
about a
leadership-
target size for you now, for each RLI, about 20 to 25?
I think that, yeah, that's a nice manageable group. It didn't overwhelm the room. It wasn't an undercount. Yeah, Joe, I think, it's about pretty good, 20 to 25.
Lots
That's
of
good.
interaction. Everybody got to know everybody. That's always helpful when it's kind of like the size of this group today. Everybody will get a chance to contribute, speak up, share ideas. And you get too many people, it's really hard to do that. And with breakouts, and especially when you're trying to have a 1-hour meeting like we are today. So I usually wait until about 4 minutes after and start the meeting. So I got another 1 minute.
Looks like Curtis is
morning,
standing.
John.
Curtis is standing on the Willis Tower glass shelf. Is that true?
Is that where you are, Curtis?
Yes, that was a handful of years ago. Scary. It was scary.
I was going to say, step back. I got to get you framed better.
Oh, I didn't think of my background.
Okay, let's go ahead and start this. Whoops, here comes Jerry from Bear Creek Valley. And then we'll let them in as they go along. I'll try to keep my eye on that. Good morning, Jerry. And good morning, Bruce. I don't think you snuck in without me saying so. I can't have that. Okay, I'm looking around. I think I said hi to everybody. Okay, the purpose of today's meeting is I got to thinking I'm going to be the district governor in 25-26. And when I signed up for this career, I thought, oh, I've got 2.5 years to think about it. No problem. Everything just goes along normally. Well, then I find out, much to my surprise, that there's a lot of training and gearing up to be ready for that by that time. Jim Polk is laughing his head off. Yeah, well, and Jerry knows too. Yeah, so you'd think I'd learn, but I'm a little slow on the uptick. So after this next full year, I will be done with my 3 years as membership chair. And so my passion is membership. As we move forward and I get ready to be district governor, I care a lot about what happens with this group, our membership committee. So I have questions for you today to answer. I want you to envision Rotary District 5110 membership 3.0, because 2.0 isn't good enough. We got to just dream bigger than that. I want to talk about what we're going to keep doing, what we're going to stop doing, what should we modify, and what should we start doing. So first I thought I would tell you what we are doing, so you have some frame of reference. Makes sense, right? We're doing this monthly membership forum. Sometimes we have outside speakers, so there might be something that you say, I like that better than listening to Chris talk all the time. Sometimes we have other kinds of, anyway, that can be set up in any way. It might be a case of, hey, 10 o'clock on a third Tuesday doesn't work for me. We set this up on this date because somebody wanted it set up and then she's never come to a meeting. You know how that goes. So anyway, any of these things are flexible. I'm here now to serve you, and you tell me what you want. We could do a doodle poll or whatever. So we do this membership forum. We also offer clubs one-on-one membership support. So I've worked with club membership committees and I've worked with club boards, and I've gone to clubs both personally and virtually to present information on different kinds of membership topics. For example, I'm going to Albany on April 3rd to talk about satellite clubs. So no, Kat, you can't get out right now. We have a subgroup that follows up on RI leads. We get Rotary International leads where people go to Rotary International's website and say, yeah, I'm interested in being a member and I live in Montague. So then we would send Sharon, your club's membership and president that information and make that contact, and then try to make sure that you follow up on it. So we follow up with you. And then we offer new club support for anybody that is trying to start a new club. That obviously doesn't happen as well as often as the rest of the things. So that's what we're doing: membership forum, one-on-one support, following up on RI leads, and offering new club support. A couple of things that are either on the horizon or have been active and maybe aren't so active right now. The one that's been active and hasn't, I don't know how successful it's been in your mind, is the Rotary Business Network. It was kind of like a network where you put in your profile of here's what I do, kind of a vocational thing. I'm a management consultant, so if you need some leadership development, please call Chris Watt, Leader Support Service, blah, blah, blah. So that's something that's kind of fallen by the wayside. I don't know how much it was used. And then the next thing that's coming up on the horizon that I'm not sure how to handle, and is a touchy subject, is the whole diversity, equity, and inclusion thing. When you look at Rotary International or DAC-DB, diversity, equity, inclusion is kind of tracked. We track age and we track male, female, binary sex. That's it. And, you know, in our efforts to mirror the demographics of our community to get the most out of our club and its the contributions that people make, how important is that? What do you guys think about that? So where should we start? What should we keep doing? I'm going to divide you into 3 groups, okay? And ask you to talk about what should we keep doing that you really like, that the membership committee is working on. And I'm going to give you about 3 minutes, 4 minutes to talk about that. Let's see, okay. And if you'll just talk about what should we keep doing as the best way for the district to support you in your membership efforts. So here you go. And now I'll let my cat out. She's driving me crazy. Yeah, you want out too? Fine. Where's the count? Okay.
You're the only good putty in the bunch.
Harry's back.
Yeah.
Everybody was off on tangents. Which is fine because it's hard to separate one part of membership out from the big picture. It's even hard to separate membership from the foundation and from marketing and, leadership, and it's all interwoven. Let's see here. There we come. Is everybody here? Who's not here? Nobody raised their hand, so I guess y'all here. What came out of that? Anybody want to speak for their group?
Well, I
What's
could
it-
start.
Okay.
We couldn't think of any way to improve it. We really love the format and
Are you
um,
talking about the forum or what?
the membership forum. Yes, the meeting
Okay.
that we have here once a month. Harry had some, he's got some special circumstances and he comes hoping to get direction, and he says, he's tried things and he doesn't feel like he's got the right direction yet, and so maybe an improvement, we could, put our subjects in what we need in the chat or something, and you could move on from there.
Good idea. And Harry, message me or email me anything that you would like to see there that's not getting covered. Because I do respond to things I hear. So if I don't hear them, I don't. And if I can come and visit with your club one-on-one, I'm happy to do that. Just waiting for the invitation. Just hoping somebody will ask me to the dance. Michael, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, we had some great discussion. Sharon shared a bunch of really amazing ways that she's new in Rotary, but she's trying to really, get Rotary out there in the community, which I think is really amazing. And the other part that, one of the things that I had suggested was that I am taking an approach of identifying the holes in our skill sets that we have in our, and also those that bring it, and just going out and actively recruiting for those skill sets in our community. And just see if we can not only add members, but add the members in those areas that we are lacking currently, or that are starting to age out and that are backing away on their engagement levels. We've had those skills in our club for many years, but some of the folks that have filled that role and that we still think of are ready to either move on or relax or just take a little less of an engaged role. So that's the approach that I'm trying to encourage in our club.
Good. What else?
Well, our group, one of just a recommendation to improve the format might be to vary the date and time each month, because perhaps we're missing people who can never be here Tuesday mornings at 10.
John?
I like having I'm not arguing with you, Ray. I think it's a good one. But from here, I like knowing when this is. It's something I can count on if I'm making appointments 2 weeks ahead or a month ahead. I know that I don't want to put them at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. Also, I hope that this forum continues. I was joking, but only half joking, and saying to our group, I want this to continue. I hope this continues. And if there was any way, if we could keep Chris doing it, you're really a good guide, a good.
Yes.
We'd like you to. I would like you to continue, because it's so useful to hear what other people's situations are. Partly, it may be, oh, I'm not in such bad shape as I thought, or maybe I can do something.
Right.
So, John, I agree with you. I like the Tuesdays, but we're the people who are here. And it's the people who are not here that the recommendation was perhaps made for. I love these forums. I don't come every month, and that's because I start my day to day with a board meeting, and sometimes I move into this and sometimes I don't. But I love the forum. I think you do an excellent job, and I would second John's request, Chris, that you stay as the chair, even while you're learning to be a DG. But as that moves forward, at some point, I know you're going to have to find a replacement. Nobody can replace you. You're going to have to find somebody to step into the position. And I hope that you are, looking for whom that might be.
Well, here's what I'm hearing, and here's the idea that I've had before. And then we probably should have done at the onset, but nobody knew what a membership forum was even going to be. What if I put out a poll to club president-elects and membership chairs, the same group that and the district line and the assistant governors, the same group that I invite to these forums, not that they're the only ones that can come to the forums, but I don't want to spam everybody in the district with an invitation to a forum every month. So that's what if I did a doodle poll that gives 5 days a week, some different times, morning, noon, afternoon, whatever. And are you guys flexible to do that? Because you are some of the core people that come every month.
I would be flexible, but The real issue is we're all busy. I love the fact that we have set a pattern.
Yeah,
And maybe I missed it. I'm multitasking with work, but Chris, as you gain new responsibilities and training, was there a plan for someone like you to facilitate this forum going forward?
yeah, you.
I agree with Chris. I like having one time that it's just every time, because
Yeah.
that means I don't have to think about, let's see, where is it this month? I forgot what time it is. I just know
But-
it's 10 o'clock.
But my thought is that we could, after 2.5 years, we could change that. Instead of the third Tuesday at 10, it might be the fourth Wednesday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, I don't know, but I'm
Right.
just saying,
Sure.
and then be consistent with the same Zoom link and the same YouTube channel, just like we have now going forward, but make that change. And I'd probably get some naughty emails about, where are you guys? I'm here on Tuesday at 10, but
Right.
but I've heard little squeaks about that before, and in an effort to be responsive to what I hear, that might be a good idea. And it might be that just leave it the same as the overall answer. So what do you guys think? Are you up for, I know we've always
Sure.
done it that way, is always the big issue.
I'm
got-
good for changing the date. I mean, a
Sure.
doodle poll is a great idea.
Does anybody have a problem with that and feels really strongly that we got to leave it where it is?
I really like 10 a.m. on Tuesdays, but then I'm retired. And so I can't tell Tuesday from Sunday. That I think what I was hoping to maybe trigger was rotating, trying to find out with a change that we won't know without a change in the day and time if there are some missing people. And I don't know that we need to do this more than once a year, but perhaps once a year we might consider a change in day and time.
That's a good idea.
But how do you find that one perfect spot for the next year?
Well, I think we ask in the next year.
Yeah, and I think it's not, we don't need the perfect spot. This is probably not a perfect spot. And that was a really good point, that we're the ones who are here. They're trying to make that decision.
Right.
Best crowd.
I also know I used to do leadership development workshops over on the coast, and people go, oh, I can't, it was the whatever third Wednesday of the month from 1:30 to 3:30, and people would tell me, oh, I can't make that one. Tuesdays are better for me. And so I experimented with changing things, and those same people still didn't come. So, I mean, the people that want to be here will be here. The other thing is that we do have the YouTube channel as a backup, and those get watched. And they're good because you can go back and refer to, now, what was the one when we talked about and so those are there. But I think that I've fallen off the wagon as far as conducting polls for topics. And earlier today, I said, hey, if you guys have an idea for a topic, please put it in the chat. And you know how many I've gotten?
Zero.
None.
0. So if left to my own devices, I'll come up with stuff. Believe me, I've got a couple, 3 in the bucket all the time. If you want to have control over what they are, you might let me know, because I'm certainly flexible and willing to do that. So I'm still keeping my eye on the chat and waiting. What kind of membership topics are really specific? And it doesn't have to be a new one that we've never talked about. It could be the same one with a different bent. So please help give me some advice there. This is the district. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. Give me an example of what you mean by membership topics.
Attracting, retaining, mentoring,
Okay.
engaging, volunteerism, If you go back to our YouTube channel, which is Rotary District 5110 Membership Forum,
Mhm.
you will find 2.5 years worth of topics that we have talked about, which might spur an idea in your head about,
Hmm.
yeah, but they haven't talked about this, or when they talked about that, they kind of went off in that direction. Every one of these forums get off on tangents because we all have different things in our head, and that's okay. I want to be very flexible and do what you guys want to do. And I want the membership committee at the district level to be here and be very nimble to support your needs. You know, I don't have a curriculum that I'm going to follow and here's what you need to learn. And that's not the way adult learners want to be treated. That's not really the way anybody wants to be treated. So, is there anything that we're doing that we should stop doing? And I'm not going to break you out because,
Hmm.
I've got I got a few topics coming in. Maybe I should shut up. Now you guys can multitask. Keep those up. And I'm going to save the chat right now and keep saving it so that I can read it. And those are going to be the topics coming up, you guys. I'm pretty responsive that way. What do we think about the Rotary Business Network? One thing that when I joined Rotary in 1987, I was a young professional. And like me, a lot of people my age that joined as young professionals are not young professionals anymore. In fact, we're not even maybe working anymore. We might be retired. So a lot of that demographic doesn't care about the Rotary Business Network. They don't care about networking and sharing what they do for a living. But you know what? The people we're trying to attract do. So what do you think about, should we still have the Rotary Business Network or just let it fizzle? Joe.
I think that networking is a key piece of why people join Rotary. I mean, and it's a very good reason. It's the reason Rotary was founded to begin with. So it shouldn't be overlooked. There was a time when we still had fining in clubs, that our club would occasionally fine someone for having their automobile dealership shirt on. And finally, 15 years later, we've evolved to telling people, if you want to bring business cards to a lunch meeting and distribute them to the entire membership, that's fine. That's okay.
Really?
It's a good idea. So
who else does that? Well, I've never heard of that before. I would still think that's poo-pooed upon.
not at our club, not at my club.
Well, I think it's an interesting idea, and it would definitely involve people that are young professionals. They want to get up and at least have people know what they do.
I know all the realtors do, having been one. What seems to me to be the key motivation in the business to business was a very good idea and at the outset, and we've tried it. And I think what I suspect we've learned from it is that it may be more a community focused interest in connecting with other business professionals that doesn't have legs when you get outside our own community. So as a realtor, I wasn't really interested in B2B to find clients in Medford, although there may be people in Medford looking for someone in Albany to handle a family need or whatever. But that world of networking has changed so much. It's much more, with the internet, it's gotten much more immediate. And so a referral doesn't last very long or have much value 30 seconds after the conversation that originally initiated it, because someone has gotten on the internet and found somebody in that community.
John,
Yeah, in the last couple of years, we've asked in our club assemblies, we've asked this question, or we've had this question asked. Why don't we have as many businesses as we used to? 10 years ago, we had some major businesses that are no longer members. I think that might be really interesting to pursue.
there's a topic there, isn't there?
Yes.
You know, I was substituting for our president and running a meeting, and we had 10 minutes to spare. How often does that ever happen? We had 10 minutes to spare, so I thought, let's go around the room and have self-introductions, you know, like they do at these networking organizations like chambers of commerce and things. And I said, if you're not currently working, just introduce yourself and tell us what you used to do. People loved that. And we, at our new satellite we just chartered, our Rotary, Southtown Rotary Service Network, we have self-introductions with a twist every meeting. That's the way we start every meeting, because it's important for me to have these brand new Rotarians get to know each other and to build that network, because that's what they want. And I've noticed that Rotary clubs have gotten away from the networking aspect and moved into the social aspect, because they're retired now and they don't care about networking anymore.
Yeah.
But if we're going to attract the people that we're trying to attract, we better relook at networking like Joe's talking about. I think that is a great topic. Maybe that's going to be coming up. John.
Another topic is this has been done in Michael's club. At least they've talked about it more than we have. That you don't have the same meeting every week. The first week you do it one way, second week you do it another way, third week maybe you meet over at Elks Club because they serve drinks. Fourth, maybe you don't meet, or maybe you meet out in a park or something. I think that's a good way to get more people involved, like having this self-introduction. I think it's a great idea. Not every week, maybe once a month, do that.
Right. Yeah, our satellite only meet twice a month, so it's never once a week. But Sharon, you started to say something.
What Montague is planning on doing is having one meeting be the board meeting. That's where anything negative and all the stuff that would have to happen. And then the other meetings are more of a speaker. And then the last meeting will be at my house. It'll be a social. And that way, you can get people to come in and have fun and really get into it first before you start getting to the, okay, so now we have to, do this many votes, and this, we have to do this and this and this,
right.
So yeah.
Well, we could have a forum on different meeting formats.
So that would be.
That's not a bad idea.
It isn't. It would be, if I get the brain trust just in this little Partridge Family square I'm looking at, we would have a lot of different ideas right there. Jerry, your hand popped up for a second.
Well, I enjoy this conversation because both John and Sharon have really done kind of a dive into our action plan and the strategic priorities. And that would be my suggestion for the future. Perhaps we could take one, just one single strategic priority. And just like John was saying, we could expand our reach. How do you expand our reach? Well, we could go to different places. We could, contact the community leaders, have just a meeting, with city council, whatever it could be, or your chamber of commerce, or like Sharon, we could have one meeting that talks about adapting. How do we adapt clubs? Well, how can we flex our meetings? How can we flex meetings to attract all these ideas that could be percolated out could be used to attract membership? That's why I love and embrace that action plan. I think it really is a vehicle to take us forward.
It keeps you thinking.
Yeah.
There are some of you that I haven't heard from. I'm waiting. Let's all be quiet and let them speak up. Come on.
All right, I'll give you a quick mention. I'm in a classroom. I've got 15 students in here doing online stuff. So that's why I don't engage very much with the talking part, but I am listening. And I'm going through my AG courses on Rotary Club Central. And there's all sorts of things that I have not done that I need to get done. So yeah, this conversation today is really good. And Michael has a really good idea if he would expand on it with what he and I talked about.
Okay. That was an introduction, Michael, and then we're going to call on Jerry.
So it was the Bruce, you're speaking of the proactive approach to membership growth. Is that what you're? Yeah. So I kind of mentioned it in my comment earlier. So we definitely we're down from 2021 about 6 members. We don't want to get too much larger than that. Is the sense I'm getting? I'm interviewing all of our members now. And the sense is that they like 50 to 60. So that's great. But we're at 46. So we've got some growth. And rather than just focus on bodies and or general, which is another great way to do it, I'm trying to work in my club, the leadership, as well as the membership, and find out holes that are missing from a skill set perspective and or a passion perspective or an interest perspective, and use those data points to just really figure out who we want to recruit. Using LinkedIn and or Facebook to look really closely at, hey, who in our community matches these needs, and then reach out to them personally and just see if it's something, and just let them know, rather than say, hey, who wants to volunteer? Just say, hey, we need you, and this is an area that we believe you could really enhance the experience of our members and our club overall, and try that approach. So I don't know if that's clear, but that's what I was talking about.
Well, it's funny because ideas are funny when we're spitballing them like this, because maybe something that you didn't think was clear sparks an idea with somebody else. I remember the first book I wrote, people would tell me, I loved what you said about flexibility. And I didn't say anything about flexibility, but if they got something out of my book about flexibility, hey, I'm a happy camper, but we all process the information we're getting differently, and so do your members. So we always have to keep that in mind. But let me get back on track and see what Jerry was going to contribute.
Well, our club is a fairly new club. We started in 1983 when we were founded, and we used to meet at the Red Lion in downtown Medford, and most all of us were business people that worked in the downtown. So we all walked over to the meeting, and we had somewhere around 80 or 82 people or so in our club. Then it got too expensive, like we all run into. And so we moved to a restaurant actually across town a little bit. And our membership dropped in a half, no question, at least only about half at the most. And because people didn't want to leave their little nest downtown to go to this meeting. However, we just kept pursuing, and we've been hanging in there about 25 members for years now. We since then had taken on moved our service area to the Phoenix Talent area, and especially got stronger in there after the fires, and trying to help rebuild that area. And so we moved to another location over there, which is the only place we could find at the time that pretty much was not burned down. And we still have about the same 10 or 12 active people. And now we've been looking for one right downtown Phoenix, so we could engage the business people and locals that are right in that area. And because we're on the outskirts of Phoenix. And so yesterday was our first meeting at a brand new library. And it was very nice. However, every place you go has limitations of some sort, of course.
Sure.
But we had a little luncheon catered in, that has to be catered, and it went very well. And next week we go back to our regular location again. I told the membership that we're not just going to quick move. We're going to go test them out first. And that's what we did. And in the meantime, we got another location now that just popped up there.
Good.
And so we're going to go over there April 3rd. So as some of you suggested, maybe moving around little locations like that, that's kind of what we're doing. But we really want to engage the business people right in the downtown area. And going back, when I started in '96, it was for the reason of networking with my business. And granted, it worked wonderfully. And Joe, I'm a realtor also. And so we've had a really good, strong group of about 10 or 12. And that has not changed over the years. It seems like it's always the same ones. We can never seem to get the other folks focused to be engaged with us. No matter what we do, it seems like, but they're always there, they pay their dues and whatnot. But that's the reason that I really wanted to get involved with this organization now, with this group, to figure out how we can expand it some more. So now you know a little bit about where we come from.
Well, the other thing that I encourage in this forum is for you to take down each other's names. My name is Rotary District 5110, for example.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm using the district account, so every time I change it, somebody has to change it back. And hopefully, if you, anyway, my name's Chris Waugh. But find them on DACDB, reach out, keep your connect. 1 hour once a month isn't going to build a relationship. You're not going to get all the answers here, but you're going to make some connections that you can follow up and say, what were you talking about, that networking thing that you do? What were you talking about, how you met at the library? I know one club, it just popped into my mind that when they used to evaluate the speakers at the end of each meeting, they had little evaluation forms on the table that said, what did you think about their presentation, their contact, the delivery, blah, blah, blah. Why couldn't we do something like that about your venue? Put them right on the table and let people give you feedback at the end of every meeting. What did they think about that? What did they think about the price? What did they think about the quality of the food? What did they think about the event space? And anyway, it might give you some insight of what your people are thinking, because if you don't really have your hand on their pulse, it's really hard to lead them. Let's see.
Are you saying when you do that evaluation, is that after the speaker has gone? Or you evaluate with the speaker?
Before they leave, when the meeting's adjourned, you ask them to stay and fill out the application or the evaluation. And I remember that happening at some club. It was not my club. This is just something that a popcorn idea that came out through a previous forum. And it made me think, what if you took that idea, tweaked it a little bit, and made it about the venue? A lot of clubs are struggling with it, where to meet. That was our hardest part of forming our new satellite.
Yeah.
Once we decided when to meet, which was the first hardest part, then it was where to meet. And it was really difficult, and we lucked out. I'm not even going to tell you, because anybody in Eugene Springfield's going to come try to steal it. No, I'm kidding. We meet at a pizza parlor that has ADA compliant, lots of parking right out the door, a carousel and a pitch and putt for kids, a room with a HDMI TV set that overlooks the Willamette River. Hello, are we doing well? And people just come in and order what they want. There's no room charge. And it's like, woohoo!
Wow.
I lucked out on that one.
You forgot
Michael,
to mention,
you
you forgot to mention the beer.
Well,
Wait, do they have Guinness?
order whatever you want. Yeah. Beer, wine, pop. You can bring your kids, whatever. Michael.
I thought someone else was here that had their hand up. Maybe they were just gonna let us know they were leaving. Did
was
somebody?
Curtis.
say-
No, I was gonna say one
Oh,
question.
Curtis. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was getting in line behind Curtis, but anyway, I'll go. Hey,
Oh.
I put a few topics, the potential,
I
again,
see
sorry, guys,
that.
I'm brand new, so I don't know if you've already talked about these, but
It doesn't matter.
one
It
of the
doesn't
things
matter
I
if
just
we've
wanted
already
to,
talked about.
one of the things that I just wanted to throw out there is, I'm finding that regardless of whether we like it or not, we have a variety of engagement levels in our clubs, and we all know that. And I think that it's important for us to find a way to honor every level of engagement, because
Yeah.
and just make that really a part of our, what's important to me as a leader in the club is to know what I have to work with, right? If I have 2 people that want to be ultra engaged and go into leadership and go down the district leadership path, and I have 4 people in the club that would just prefer to show up whenever they're able, but they're active, they're paying their dues.
Yeah,
I think we
you
can
write your
honor
checks.
both of those. Yeah, and not make it a good Rotarian, less good Rotarian kind of subject, but that's just kind of the whole topic that I thought I would love some input on at some point, just from people, what the attitudes were. I mean, is there a good Rotarian, bad Rotarian? Is there a, those kind of things that we're talking about.
We
So I don't
can't
know.
afford to be so picky. I mean, if they're service minded, they're a good Rotarian or a good potential Rotarian. That's my answer anyway.
Totally agree. I have interviewed now about 30% of our 50 folks in the club. And I'm getting a strong sense that that is not necessarily how it's felt in the club level. They identify with this person's a good Rotarian and this person's a less good Rotarian. And so there's just that, and sometimes it's money involved, and sometimes it's time involved, and sometimes it's all of the above.
Right.
But I don't know. I just thought I'd throw it out there.
That was the first time I ever heard the expression rhino. It was-
Yeah, Rotarian. in
Rotarian
name
in name
only.
only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and somebody was talking about ones that just write checks, like that's a bad thing. It's like, excuse me, they're 85 years old and they don't pack hospital boxes anymore, but they write big checks. We got a problem with that? No, I don't think so.
No way.
Ray, you've got your hand up.
I do, and it's backing up to what Michael was saying. Are you calling all your members? Is that what I heard you say you are doing, and interviewing all your members?
Yeah, actually, I'm meeting with them one-on-one in a variety of ways, either face-to-face, on Zoom, or on phone call, but
Okay.
all of them. Yeah.
My reason for asking is that has been one of my goals, and we have about 85 people in our club, and so I got started earlier on it, and then I just sort of fell apart, myself traveling and being gone, not wanting to call during the day because people work, et cetera, et cetera. And so I just, just wondering for you how it's been working, and give me some encouragement to get my phone skills back going. I did send out a preliminary, I was going to do this, give me any feedback you want, you're not obligated to write. And like one person wrote.
Yeah.
Could I chime in?
Yes,
That was a
please.
good turnout.
During my year as a club president, Ray, I did the same thing. I set out and I was going to interview every club member.
Uh-huh.
And boy, I had an energy like you wouldn't believe at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then as I got through we've got about a 60 at the time, a 60, 70 member club. After I got through about half or 2/3, I could see patterns really developing. And
Okay.
I allowed myself to feel okay about not finishing all the phone calls, because one of the things that clearly came up is that there were 2 or 3 different clubs. And that some of these members were sure that they were a part of the only club that I was president of, but they had nothing, or they had very little, it seemed, in common with one of the other groups. And so we had these multitude of clubs, of groups circulating in the club that thought their
Right.
experience was the experience everybody else was having.
Yeah.
And once I got to that point, I said, You know, I think I've accomplished my task here. I've learned what I really need to know. I've got these disparate groups and they're all good Rotarians.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to
Thank you.
see if Harry got to contribute any ideas that for membership forums or for one-on-one support. What more can we do for your club, Harry?
I'm not sure. Very few of our programs are by businesses. Most of our programs are by organizations in the community. So we will have someone from urgent care. We will have somebody from the school district. We will have somebody from whatever. So we're focused on our programming to the service districts within our club, because as I say, we have very few business people in the club. And as we've tried to recruit business people, they have not shown a great deal of interest in the club. However, people are very interested in learning more about the opportunities for serving. Sorry, I got to run. My phone, my doorbell just rang. And
Okay.
Thank you very much. I'm
Well,
checking
I've got a whole bunch of ideas here that
Yeah.
I'm saving from
thanks,
the
Harry.
chat,
out.
which will, what I'll do for next meeting is take the main ideas and put them into a poll so you guys can vote on them, and those will be our next few months. That's pretty easy to do. So if you don't
Okay.
like what the topics are, it's your own darn fault. You still have time. You still have time to put them in the chat. I keep saving it just to make sure I have the latest thoughts. And then when some of you were coming up with your insights, I threw some other thoughts that may or may not be in the chat that I can add to it. So we'll come up with, I think they let you have 10 or 12 topics in the polls, and we'll just kind of start with the top ones and work our way down and then keep adding more in there. But what I'm saying, hearing you say is don't stop the forums. We may change them, but don't stop them. You know what? The idea that you guys like these forums and the ability to connect and chat should give you an idea of how you can touch base with your own membership. You know, we used to have club assemblies all the time, or once a month or so when I first joined Rotary. And then people got to thinking, oh, that's just where they're gonna, you know, it's like a training program. We're gonna learn about the foundation, or, you know, it's something very negative, and people would end up not coming for the club assembly. So maybe you reframe it into a forum kind of concept where you're asking them to talk. Maybe they can have breakout sessions at their little tables and feed back to you the topics that you're interested about. Where should we meet? How should we structure lunch? You know, all these other, you know, how do we get people in the business community to come and join us? All these kinds of things that we don't have to have the answer as leaders. The answer's in the room.
Right.
We just have to tap into it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Parting thoughts or parting gifts, I don't care.
Thank you for your efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
and
great.
I would just, yeah, thanks. And I would just add that Chris gave a great membership presentation at Rotary Leadership Institute. The evaluation results showed that 95%, which, you know, in any academic arena is going to be an A, gave her high marks for being better informed than when they had walked in the door.
There's always one or two
Right.
people in the room that don't like the fact that I say, hey, leadership's not for wussies. They don't like the word wussy. Well, I'm sorry, but that's the word I use. And then I also said duh somewhere along the line. That always offends somebody. So, you know, if you want sophisticated, don't get me. But if you
Yeah.
want me to tell you what I think, I'll definitely do that. But
Anyway.
I really enjoy working with this forum, and, you know, I'd probably do it just, it takes me not that long to do it. I think going forward, we need to get some new blood involved.
Always,
And
yeah.
I'm looking for people to give some more insight to the district membership committee. And I want to have an ad hoc Zoom meeting specifically on how we should form the district membership committee going forward. Would you raise your hand if you're interested in being polled to find a time to attend a 1-hour Zoom meeting? Michael's not raising his hand, but I'm gonna write you down anyway.
Yeah.
Who else? Jerry, you're all right. Who else? Ray. Joe, you're already on there. You didn't have any choice. Your assistant governor, Janice. Thanks, you guys. Because you guys are all willing to tell me what I need to hear, even if I,
Christine.
if I don't
just
want to
wanna-
hear it.
I want to add one thing, Christine. Just promise us that whoever is the next district membership chair has a full supply of bottles of Christine, so that they can sip that in their coffee every morning when they get up. You've just
Okay, well, what we're gonna have to do is appoint this advisory committee to come up with that specific skill set in person. I don't agree. I think that everybody brings their own skill sets, their own energy to the plate. And see, Jerry, I use the word plate. And that's okay. What you might get somebody that's sophisticated. Wouldn't that be cool? Or you might get somebody that's more focused on something that's really urgently important to you. So
thank you
I
for setting the bar
combine
so
mine
high.
with leadership, but somebody else might be more focused in the nuts and bolts of membership, and that would be really good too. So, don't discount your own ability to help in that regard, or think about other people that that might be, if you want that spark plug personality, think of who that might be a good candidate for that. Because what we could do is bring them in and let them co-facilitate these sessions. And it's like I said, it's not that hard. You guys do all the work, you do all the talking, except for I can hardly ever shut up.
Well, I just want to share the appreciation of the group to you, Chris, for your leadership with membership over this past 3 years. So thank you very much and for putting these things together.
Ray, I see you want to talk with me one-on-one. You know how to get a hold of me. I'm sure.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay, well, I don't need a warning. You can just contact me. By the way, I'm going to give that same membership program at the Club Training Assembly in Cottage Grove next Saturday at 2:00, I think. If anybody is in Cottage Grove, stop by my course. Even if you didn't sign up for it, just sneak over to it.
And I'll be there presenting about the action plan in the afternoon.
We have some really, and I'm going to go to the one that's about district governor nominees so I can figure out what the heck that means.
Yeah.
And there's
Will
a lot
any
to
of
learn.
those be to the PEs? Because we're blocked in.
Yeah, I know it. There's a lot of PE classes. So Angela Lopez is just joining us, and I got to go. It's 11:02. I apologize. I'm surprised that she's coming now.
Yeah.
Angela, are you there?
She's coming for the next hour.
Yeah. Did you know that our meeting's just now ending?
I did not know that. But
Well,
that's
this
okay.
is Angela. Angela, introduce yourself, because I want these people that are hanging on to have your contact information, and put it in the chat and introduce yourself at the same time, and then we got to go.
Oh, fantastic. My name is Angela. I'm the regional membership officer for Rotary International.
Nice.
And so Arizona does not have daylight savings, and so that's what just happened.
That's why. Well, one thing that Angela has facilitated the change of is that the regional membership officer used to work with people like me, the district lead membership chair, right? Now she's working with people like you. She's going down to the grassroots. If you need some spunk and inspiration and tools, get a hold of Angela. And she just put herself in the chat, and you know that you can go to the bottom of the chat, click those 3 dots and say save chat. And then you'll have all of the comments that came up in the chat. So go down to the bottom of the chat, hit the 3 dots and click save chat, and it puts it in a little file that you can look at when you get off the meeting. And if you have trouble with that, let me know because I saved it. Hey, thanks for coming, Angela. It's like, Angela's here. Let's all go.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.